Advice. Thanks so much, Paul. The main focus tonight is the hard freeze. It's going to cause more issues on the roads out there.
Officials are urging you to stay home while they work to clear the roads through tomorrow. We are joined right now by Daniel Gitlin with DOTD right now with an update on their efforts. Thank you so much for joining us. I have to ask you, we know that some of the roadways are starting to reopen. Do you have a timeline as to when you think you can fully reopen all the roadways?
Well, hey, Sharice, Katie, it's good to be here. It depends. Depends on different conditions tomorrow morning. As the sun comes up tomorrow morning, the key here is to get a lot of our primary roads open again, which is going to connect us to all of our residents to make sure that any emergency vehicles can get through. And we are already starting to see that with the Crescent City Connection reopening, and hopefully tomorrow we'll see all of US 90 reopening to join Airline Highway. And make sure that, once again, it's just critical that we get all of our major infrastructure in our primary routes back open.
Yeah, we are looking at I-10 right now in a live picture on people's screens. It doesn't look like there's been a lot of progress made on trying to de-ice and get the snowpack off of that roadway. When is work really going to get going in earnest on that, or is that in the plan?
Well, I think it's all planned out, and the reason for that is there's so much work to do on I-10. However, we are going to see the roadways being able to get through the New Orleans area using parts of I-10 as we work through it. For example, the Bonnie Carey Spillway has a lot of work to do, but Airline Highway 61, as you go over, is going to be open. So we are going to be able to connect people through the New Orleans area. I think starting tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of roads start reopening. We have one more night to get through right here. We have to assess what kind of ice is formed overnight. Once we can do that, you're going to start seeing sort of a domino effect tomorrow afternoon of one road opening and another road opening.
But
it's really critical for us that all of our residents have access, especially for those emergency vehicles to get there.
And I-10, any time frame on when we would see the lion's share of that reopening, even just from Kenner all the way into the city?
Well, I think when the governor spoke today, he had mentioned he thought that Friday would be ultimately when all of I-10 reopened. I think that's very conservative, and certainly agree with the governor, and hopefully we can get that open maybe later in the day tomorrow if we have some luck, but I think people need to be patient with the I-10 corridor. It's still covered in ice right now. We have snow on it. It has to be cleared, and then we have to make sure it's inspected and ready to go. So we are going to have that. We are still going to have US 90, which will be able to connect people through the city. And ultimately, by Friday, we feel like we can get that I-10 full corridor open for travelers.
Well, Daniel, I had a quick question about the Crescent City Connection. I know that they opened one lane, or you guys announced earlier that one lane of the Crescent City Connection is open, and we do see some people starting to move through. But there's also the concern of refreezing happening overnight. Do you plan to shut that back down or limit access to traffic in the overnight hours or the late night hours?
I don't think so. Right now we have cleared the roadway, one lane in each direction. It's been retreated without any more precipitation. There shouldn't be any ice that forms on the bridge. So no, we feel like we're good to go right now as far as having one lane open in each direction. And hopefully soon tomorrow we're going to have the Huey P. Long Bridge open and I-310. Those are certainly our goals to get those things going. But no, once we get these bridges cleared, we get the roads dried. We don't anticipate any more closures.
And what work actually is being done to clear these roads? Are you all having to bring in people from out of state like the city of New Orleans did?
No, most of this work is being done by our local teams, both on the South Shore and the North Shore. They've been doing incredible work. They've been working last 4 days around the clock. We've been treating all the roads, and now we are able to get some assistance from our crews over in Lake Charles and Lafayette. They've been able to clear their areas, and they're coming in right now. We've also had tremendous assistance from Arkansas. They've been able to send in some plows, which is something that we definitely needed. So, no, most of this work right here is done by DOTD, and certainly from our help over in Arkansas.
You mentioned 310. The Twins fans, we heard the governor say this afternoon, will likely remain closed through Friday. Bonnie Carey Spillway, as you mentioned. What about some of the other thoroughfares? How's I-55 looking out there? How are the other, major connectors looking?
Sure. Again, we have sort of our primary routes. You look at I-55, it's an incredible challenge because of the distance. It's the same reason that the Causeway Bridge right now is having some problems. When you have that kind of distance, it's just a tremendous amount of work to do. So we have arteries like US 11, which is being treated right now and is open instead of that twin span. So, and we have US 51, which goes all the way up, beside 55. So the plan here is that we need to make sure that we have roadways for people to travel. Any travel that's being done in the next day or two is going to be slow. It's not going to be as people remember. So that's why, as the governor said, we have to be very patient. But by tomorrow, I think you're going to see our infrastructure open up to a point where we can get people from point A to point B, get our primary roads back open, and then we're going to be able to go into our secondary roads and get everybody connected. But, we appreciate everybody's patience, the unbelievable work that they've done by staying off the roads. We've been making some serious progress. We're very, very proud of where we are, and we will get this infrastructure fully reopened, and it'll be a tremendous accomplishment.
Any idea if we're going to see some damage to the roadways after this is all said and done? I know storms freezing and having ice conditions like are on our roads right now can be a problem for the roadways in the future. Are y'all concerned about that?
Well, I think that's why before any of these roads are reopened, they're inspected and they're looked at. That's a critical part of it. It's a very good question. What would be more damaging is if we did open the roads early and there were some accidents, for example, that might damage that infrastructure. And that's one of the really big keys with all of this, is we need to make sure that there's no further damage done by reopening the roads too early. So no, we are expecting that once we get these roads reopened, they're going to be good to go.
All right, Daniel, thank you so much for that update and for checking in with us and giving us a live report. Hopefully we can talk to you again in maybe a couple of hours or within the coming days so we can learn when we'll fully be reopened.
Yeah, and we absolutely appreciate everything you guys are doing. It's unbelievable the work that you guys are doing, getting the word out, and all of us as a team, I think we're doing everything we can for the citizens here in Southeast Louisiana.
Okay, thanks so much.